Scary robot. Where robots tell scary stories.
Never buy a mattress off of Craigslist. My wife and I have had the same mattress since we have been married. It is lumpy, dips horribly in the middle, and isn't large enough now that our daughter sleeps on it with us. I know, that's dangerous and not recommended at all, but when you go 6 straight months without more than an hour of sleep at a time, you eventually cave in. With that being said, I am always on the lookout for a good deal on a king-size mattress, and yesterday I found one. $125 for a new set, and not a cheap one either. Incredible, right? I thought so too, so I called the guy up and asked if it was still available. You know how sometimes they advertise something really cheap because it doesn't exist. To my surprise it was, so I set up for my wife and daughter to go out and take a look at 5 p.m. I would have rather just gone myself instead of dragging my cranky daughter all the way into downtown, but my wife is pretty particular about the firmness of the mattress, so I had to make sure it was comfortable for her. Brian, the guy selling the mattress, said to call when we were on our way so he would know when to meet us at the storage site. I called, but it went to voicemail, so I left one and also texted him to let him know we are on our way. The whole drive there my wife and I are chatting happily about how great it will be to finally have a new mattress and have our own space in the bed once again. My daughter likes to sleep at a bit of a diagonal so that her hands are touching mommy's shoulder and her feet are touching my leg. It is very sweet and cute, but also incredibly uncomfortable because I have to sleep on the knife's edge of the bed in order to not crush anyone. Dads out there, I am sure you can relate. Fortunately the traffic isn't too bad yet, so we make it right on time. I hate being late to appointments. It is just so unprofessional and inconsiderate, you know. I get out of the car and unstrap my daughter so that she can enjoy the cool breeze and point to all the new things she sees while we wait for Brian to arrive. After about 15 minutes I walk into the office of the storage facility and ask to see if Brian maybe works there or if the receptionist knows anything about him. Still, she told me that he works for a home staging company for when people try to sell their home. That is why we can buy the mattress so cheap. It is unpackaged and set up so they can't resell it in a store. She assured me he was a great guy and was probably just running late due to traffic reason, and now we have to fight traffic to get back home. Thank you for wasting our time. I hung up before he could get another word in. I was furious. Who sets a time to meet but then doesn't show up until the person calls? Clearly this guy wasn't a real businessman. He called me right back, but I ignored it. We needed dinner and showers. We had routines to follow or this baby was going to be up all night. He texted me right after trying to justify his reasoning, telling me I was foolish for not wanting to wait around to save so much money on a $1,000 mattress. Obviously this guy didn't have kids. I added his number to my spam list so that I wouldn't get any more calls or texts from him, and apologized to my wife for wasting our evening. I work 2 jobs to make enough for the bills and we don't have much time together as a family. I feel like a bit of a failure, but my wife always reassures me, thanking me for working so hard. Still, I can't shake the sadness I feel when I come home late and barely get to spend any time with them, so I was extra frustrated with Brian for wasting one of my only free evenings. Of course traffic was awful heading back out of downtown, and there were 2 car accidents because why not add insult to injury? My daughter was starting to get fussy, so I was singing all her favorite songs and making silly faces to keep her occupied. It took over an hour to get home, but once we hit the driveway everything was forgotten and we all smiled. Home at last. We went through our normal routine of dinner and bath time, and instead of turning on the television I just played with my daughter until she was ready for bed. It was a nice change of pace. I can't believe how big she is getting. The alarm went off far too early for my liking, but I got up and did my best to crawl out of the dip in the bed without arousing anyone else. Got dressed, packed a lunch, ate a quick breakfast, and I was off to work. The day was pretty uneventful, which was nice because I couldn't keep my eyes open easily. Normally I get a few calls from my wife during the day and at least one picture showing our daughter doing something silly or new, but I didn't get any of that today. I knew they had a few plans to go to the petting zoo and story time at the library, so I didn't think much of it, although I did miss my daily picture. Wednesday is always a special day because it's food pantry day. At first we were just embarrassed, but we try to make the best of it by guessing what dessert they will give us. The generosity of people in our area is so amazing. They donate all organic foods, even organic meat. I usually make it home before my wife is done at the pantry, so I tidy up the house and get ready to go out and grab all of the bags full of food. I kicked off my work boots and put my lunch bag away, cleaning up a few dishes in the sink and washing down my daughter's high chair tray. As I headed into the bedroom to change into more comfortable clothes, I stopped dead in my tracks. There, in place of our small, lumpy bed, was the king-sized mattress on a simple bed frame. It even had sheets on it, nice ones. A few tears gathered at each eye because I realized why my wife never called me today. She was busy surprising me with a new bed. She must have found Brian's ad on Craigslist and went up to meet him on her own while I was at work. What a wonderful woman she is. On the bed was a small, white card. I rushed over to it, flopping onto the bed and taking the card in my hand to read. "Dear Stephen, I hope you like the mattress. Don't worry about payment, I already took what I needed." Brian, what the hell? I sprang up off of the bed and went to my phone, calling my wife. No answer. No problem, she is probably wrapping up at the food pantry or driving home. She never answers when she is driving. I waited 15 more minutes before calling again. She is never this late from coming home. 4:15 at the latest, and it was already 4:30. I called again, straight to voicemail. I tried not to panic, tried to let my imagination run wild, but I couldn't help it. Was she in an accident? Is she stuck in traffic? Please answer. After another 20 minutes and no response from her, I drove over to the food pantry and found the managing volunteer just before they closed up for the night. "Hey Terry, was my wife here today?" "Oh, hi Stephen, no, she never came today." I was a bit surprised myself, but I thought maybe you finally found a better job and didn't need to come anymore. I drove home much faster than the law or safety would dictate, praying that her car would be in the driveway, but it wasn't. I tried calling one more time with no luck. Sprinting around the house, I searched for anything strange or missing. That is when I noticed the picture frame on our nightstand. The picture was torn down one side, leaving just me. Tears started flowing down my face, coating my phone as I dialed 9-1-1. Just a quick update/answer of various questions from the comments. First, thank you all for your concern. The local police and I are doing everything we can to try and locate my family. I will let you know as soon as I hear anything positive or negative regarding the case. Secondly, I understand that CL can be shady. I have dealt many times with buying and selling without ever having an issue for many years. Please understand I am in a difficult financial position right now, which is why I even looked around for a mattress on CL. We go to a food pantry every week, so yes, times are tough. I can only do what I can do. So far we are unsure of how Brian found our home or got in. There was no signs of a forced entry and no record of anyone calling or texting my wife/her calling or texting anyone over the course of the day outside of actual contacts saved to her phone. She received no emails either. Our neighbors did not notice a moving truck or anything similar come by during the day, but obviously something had to have come by. Still no idea about that either.
Thank you for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more scary stories told by robots.